Hello, Medicare Agent World. Jason Checketts here with Insurance Professionals of Arizona. Two of the biggest gaps, not gaps, but things that we need as Medicare agents is where do we go to record our phone calls for our telephonic enrollments, and where can we store all of our scope of appointments? Medicare Center. Okay, if you don't have a tool already that you're using, I highly recommend you start using Medicare Center. Now, this tool does a whole lot more than just those two things. And I'm going to quickly give you an overview of what you can do in Medicare Center. I do believe this is continuing to evolve in a very positive way. I'm happy with what I'm seeing. And I do believe that you can start using Medicare Center as a go-to resource for you for quoting and enrolling and recording your phone calls and taking scope of appointments, purchasing leads if you wanted to do that, all kinds of sorts of things, okay? So as an agent of ours, you do have access to Medicare Center. It's already set up for you. As soon as you get your first contract with us, you'll have access to this. It's just simply MedicareCenter.com. If you're a first-time user, click on the Get Started right here and fill this out. Click Submit. Follow the steps, of course, to get registered. Once you're registered, and then you can log in, right? So here's my login. I'm going to log into my Medicare Center now. As a sidebar, there's an app as well for you to download and use on your phone. And quite frankly, I'm pretty impressed with the app. The app is very user-friendly, so when you're out and about and you need to record a phone call, you can do it right from your smartphone, okay, via the app. Okay, a couple of things just to kind of point out for you. When you first log in, you're going to see your dashboard. That's the current screen you're seeing right now. As you add more clients into this system and as you progress through the various funnels, right, if you will, you'll start seeing your clients progress through this client snapshot funnel, right? A new client or prospect, renewal contacted, you've sent a scope, they've signed their scope, which I have one now. You've quoted them, they've applied, and they've been enrolled. Okay, so you can start tracking your progress with your leads using Medicare Center. Here's the policy snapshot, your task list, and then recent activities. So you can expand all of these and start working the system as it's intended to use. Now this task list is pretty important. I'll explain what this SOA 48-hour rule means in just a minute when I talk about scope of appointments. But what this is telling me is that I've got one scope of appointment that is sitting in my 48-hour wait time window. Okay, and so it tells you right down here because I've clicked on it. If I had any unlinked calls, which this will make sense here in just a minute, they will show up here as well. And then here's some recent activity. So I've been messing around with the system, and so you can see that I created a scope today and created a contact today. Okay, so let's just go step by step here. The first thing I want to teach you how to do is how to record a phone call using this system. You're going to be impressed. It works really, really well. I've had zero issues as I've been testing this out. Okay. First thing I want to point out to you is you'll notice your name as one of the menu options here. If you click on your name and you click on account right here, you'll see that you have been assigned a recording phone number. You can literally give this phone number to your clients. And if they call you on that phone number, it will record the call. Here, I'll show you. I'm just calling from my office phone here, 480-470-9978. This is the number that's been assigned to me.
Thanks for calling. Please hold while we connect you to your licensed Medicare.
It's telling them that you're being connected and that the call's being recorded. Once that's done, my phone's going to start ringing. Now, I've programmed in the phone number here called Medicare Center, so I know that this is coming from a recorded line. Also, because I have the app is telling me I've got a phone call coming in. So here I go. I'm going to answer it. I'm going to go on mute so it doesn't echo. And now I'm going to have my phone call. Right? You answer their questions, whatever it is you're doing, but you've got your phone call and it's being recorded. For those of you that want to record every single call, this is definitely for you. Okay, I'm going to hang up. Thank you for calling. Now check this out. By the way, it did show up right here in the system. And if I happen to be at my desk when I get that phone call, I can just simply click right here on link to contact and link it to one of my contacts. But let's say you were out and about, right? And you don't have access to your system right here. Then when you come back to your desk or get logged in, you're going to go to your dashboard and check this out. You have an unlinked call. You got one, and here it is right here, right? So this is the phone call that just came in. I don't like the date and timestamp because it's showing in a different time zone. This drives me bonkers. It's 9:20 p.m. Arizona time, but it's showing as the next day at 4:20 a.m. I have not seen anything in here yet that allows me to change my time zone. So that's one what do you call that? One zonk, if you will, on the date and timestamp of the phone call. Okay. But nevertheless, if you needed to, you can download it from here. But what you're really going to need to do every time is you got to start linking these phone calls to a contact in your system. So I'm going to click on link to contact. Now, because I had Sally Sample, see her right here, this is one of my contacts, and because I listed her phone number as my office phone number, and that's the phone number I called from, it's going to already say to me, hey, we've got a possible match. Was this Sally Sample? And if I click right here, then it'll link it to her profile. I'll show you that in just a minute. But let's say it wasn't Sally Sample that called you, but you got to create a new contact, or maybe you got to search. Maybe you remember who it was from, and it was from someone named Mary Smith. You could start typing Smith in here, and then it would start showing up down here that you can link to her as well. But in this case, it was Sally Sample that called me, so I'm just going to simply click on Sally Sample, and it takes me to Sally's contact card. Right? So now we're in her profile, and here's that linked call that just took place. It was an incoming call that was recorded. And so if I get a request from a carrier to show them all of my recorded calls for a client or for an enrollment, I can come into Sally Sample and download all these calls and send them off to the carrier. Okay? So that's how you record an incoming phone call. But let's say Sally sends you a message and says, hey, Jason, I'm ready to enroll in that amazing Medicare Advantage plan you were talking about the other day. Call me. Let's do the enrollment. Okay, I'll do that. Now I got to record that call, right? So I'm going to come into Medicare Center. I'm going to pull up her contact, right? So I'm going to go to my contacts. You'll see I just have 2 in here so far, but I'm going to click on Sally Sample. And then I'm going to simply click on her phone number. Now again, this is my office phone number, but I put this in here as her phone number. Check this out. I'm going to call, by clicking her phone number, I'm going to call, and the first thing that happens is I start getting a phone call from my recorded line. It comes to my cell phone. I answer it. And as soon as I answer it, now it's ringing to Sally Sample. Her phone is ringing. So you have to tell her which phone number it's coming from here. So she answers it.
You are now being connected to your licensed Medicare.
She gets the greeting that's saying you're being connected and the call is being recorded, right? So now we're connected. Now I can hear her. She can hear me. We're having our conversation. Within 60 seconds, I'm going to give my recorded or my call script here. We do not offer every plan available in your area. Currently, we represent 13 carriers which offer 78 plans or products in your area, yada, yada, yada. So I'm going to read that within the 60 seconds, right, to be compliant. Okay, which drives me bonkers, but that's just what we're doing nowadays. And now I handle the enrollment. Whatever system you're going to use, whether you go to Lean or you go to Enrollment Hub with Humana or Devoted.com, whatever plan you're enrolling them in, and you handle that enrollment compliantly. You do the signatures like you normally would, and then as soon as you're done, you hang up. And she, of course, tells you how amazing you are, right? Because you are amazing. Okay. Now, because I haven't refreshed the system, it kind of looks like nothing has happened in here. But if I come in here now and go, if I just click on Overview again, or if I hit Refresh, check this out. There's your outbound call. Already tagged into Sally Sample's profile. So now you have that outbound call already listed in here. No action needed. You're not going to see anything on your task list here for unlinked calls because you went to your contacts, you clicked on her name, and then you clicked on her phone number from her contact. It'll automatically link it in here. It's pretty cool. Pretty amazing. Okay? That's how you record phone calls. Hopefully that makes sense. Please go to the Learning Center. Take the training on all of this so that you get some really good in-depth training on all this. But the second thing I want to show you today is how do you take a scope of appointment using Medicare Center. So again, you have to create a contact. So we've already created a couple, so I'm just going to come in here. I'm going to go ahead and do a scope of appointment for Sally Sample. Okay, but I don't want any notes in the comments saying, Jason, you should have done the scope first. Okay, I know that. Okay, I was assuming I had already done the scope before I did this recorded enrollment, right? But let's just say we're back in the beginning here and you're ready to do a scope of appointment. Okay, and you got to wait 48 hours, right? So you go into the contact, you click on scope of appointments, and then you say send new. Okay, now you can email the scope or you can text the scope, or if these are both invalid or she wants you to send it to a different email address, you can click here and do a new email address. Okay, now if you want the system in here to track the 48 hours, you can also check this box as well. And then once you've selected whatever message here, whichever method here, because this is my office number and because this is a made-up email address, I can't, if I send it, nothing's going to happen, right? Nothing's going to go through, but you just hit send scope. Okay. Now, nothing's going to show up here until your client actually signs the scope. And so let me show you what that's going to look like, because I have one here on test subject. And here you have a scope of appointment that's been signed, okay, that you can view. And because I checked the box 48-hour tracking, it shows in here as a 48-hour rule. In other words, I'm going to say to myself, hey, don't take an application until after September 28th at 9:12 p.m. Now that's good because I actually sent that scope at 9:12 p.m. Arizona time about 30 minutes ago or so. So that is tracking the right time zone. So that's good. Okay. Once the scope has gone 48 hours, then I don't even know what happens here. I'm assuming you hit complete and then you can enroll the client if you're going to use this system or just go into your regular systems that you normally do. Okay, that's how you record phone calls. That's how you take scope of appointments. We don't yet have a telephonic scope in Medicare Center, but my gut tells me it's coming. It's got to be coming. So we're hoping that's going to happen. A couple other things here. This right here called Medicare app. This is Connecture. Okay, if you're familiar with the Connecture platform, that's what they call Medicare app in this system. With Connecture, every year they have to create a new link, which I think that's crazy that they have to do that. But that's why you'll see a 2023 link in here. And then they already have the 2024 link, but I'm sure it's not going to work right now until October 15th, right? But then there's another system called Sunfire, and that we refer to in here as Medicare Link. Now, I kind of like Sunfire so far as I've kind of messed around with it. I'm liking what I see. First of all, you can bring your contact into Sunfire and start working from a contact, or you can click on Quote and Enroll and start using the system here and start pulling up the various plans for your clients. And you can enter in doctors' names, you can enter in pharmacies and medications and all that. And then when you get to the point where you can view all plans, it's going to tell you if you're contracted with the plan, number one. Also, it's going to start showing you if the doctors are in network. But I'm telling you right now, Sunfire is not 100% accurate. So once you've narrowed it down for your client as far as which plan they're going to choose, I highly recommend you still go out to, in this case, Humana or Cigna or whatever, to their doctor lookup portal and just do a second check on your doctors and your meds to make sure that they're going to be covered. Now, if you decide to use this tool and you want to enroll somebody, you just click on enroll and you're going to start the process here. Just test it out, learn it. Okay. If you do enroll somebody through Sunfire, then you're going to start seeing those in your policy snapshots and so forth. So you could use Medicare Center as an all-inclusive tool to do everything from A to Z with your clients. I'm not there yet, but I'm getting there. I might start using Medicare Center to enroll. Give it a shot. If you have used Medicare Center to enroll, leave a comment down below and tell me, how did it go for you? Was it easy? Was it hard? What did you learn? Let's get this ball rolling for people, for agents, see if this is going to work for everybody. By the way, if you do have questions for Medicare Center, come right over here to your name and then click on Need Help. And you can call them, but so far I've never had them answer, and I've had other agents testify to that as well. However, if you email them, they respond fairly quickly, like within an hour, I think, this last one that one of our agents used it for. All right, folks, thanks so much for your time, and don't forget to like and subscribe and leave some comments. Tell us how you're liking this Medicare Center. Have a great day.